Hello and welcome to this episode of AI GovCast. My name is Sylvia Oakland. I'm a staff writer here for GovCIO Media Research, and I'm joined with CISA's CIO, Bob Costello. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Sylvia. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it was great to have you on the panel, and I want to just keep that energy going. And something that we've been talking a lot about here at today's summit has been how do we get the workforce ready to go and prepared for AI. And that was something that you and I talked about on stage as well. And I'd love if we could continue that conversation for our podcast audience.
I think that would be great.
So what does preparing the workforce look like within CISA right now?
I think it's multifaceted. And our first step is taking care of our existing workforce. So we've done a lot of trainings, informational sessions, and then even working with a lot of our partner community to work with them for trainings that they have available, as well as through the OneGov initiative, we're able to take advantage of something with Amazon Web Services where we did like a skills assessment, and now people will understand where they maybe have an interest or where they're lacking some skills, and they can take training in that area. I think the other area that you and I were just having a great conversation about too is like, how do I get people comfortable using that technology or using AI? And I think some of that is the more sometimes you use something, you get more comfortable with it, making sure that people understand how it works, how we safeguard their data in it. So when we rolled out Copilot, we had a good informational campaign around that on what data it could see, what data it couldn't see, how our partners or the providers utilize our data, if they can even, they often can't even see our data the way that we control our systems. So I think that is vitally important. So people have a comfort level. Just like I want to know how my doctor's electronic health record system protects my information. So I think that those are really important things on the workforce. I think the third area is recruiting. So just recently, at the end of December, CISA announced that we'll be part of the OPM CyberCorps initiative through the Scholarship for Service, and people can check that out on our website or find the postings on USA Jobs, which is a great resource to find federal positions. And I'm excited about that because we're looking at recruiting kind of that next generation of federal employees that might, think a little bit different or inject some new ideas to the workforce.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the next thing that I want to talk about within the workforce is, again, just getting people comfortable and building a relationship with your digital coworker. It's going to look different than a coworker that you work in person with or work remotely with if you're at an organization. So what, from your perspective, is a good way to get comfortable with that?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and I don't think that we fully know yet as a society. Like, there's a lot of reports on, some potential issues. We see a lot of that with children, adolescents, and teenagers interacting with these tools, and it can be problematic. I personally kind of have settings on some of mine where I prefer, like when I'm using ChatGPT in my personal life, respond that I know this is a machine. I don't want conversational things. I'm not interested in a new friend. I have my 2 friends, and I'm very happy and with that in my life. So I think part of it is, allowing people to tune these things so that they respond in the way that is their comfort level. I still fully believe too, like these are not sentient. These are not these are machines. These are things to help us. And I think that needs to be very clear as we're rolling them out, even through Agentic AI, which can, take that next step, make a decision. I think it's very important we understand how it does that we can audit it, that we can do a look back and say, well, this is why it made that decision in that decision tree, why it took an action. I think that's very important. I think that for the human supervisor, they should be able to see that audit trail in a human readable, not a machine readable format to kind of understand the steps it went through.
Yeah, really providing that transparency and clear communication. I think that has really been the undercurrent of our conversations here at the summit is communication between human and machine, between humans, between government and industry. And I'm glad that you brought up Agentic AI because that is what you and I talked about up on stage, and I'd love if you just kind of briefed us about what Agentic AI looks like at CISA.
I think we're in some of the early stages. For some of the work that we'll be doing, like me and my deputy were just talking with, like, we're excited to use some agentic AI agents to help us kind of speed up our approval process for new technology that we may want to implement at CISA. So right now, we do very thorough reviews of a company's or software supply chain and any open vulnerabilities or things that we should be concerned with, and we query a lot of different systems, and then someone, like I said, they put it maybe in an Excel spreadsheet or in a not so great system. I think Agentic AI can help with that. Like, you throw your query at it, it goes out and does other things, produces a report, has a citation so the human can go back and look at that. The other area where I'm excited, and we're working in our defensive cyber operations group, which is my group that has all of our risk management, security operations center. I think we're getting very comfortable now where if our tooling kind of detects something with even a moderate confidence level, we're going to start isolating people's machines automatically, not wait for the human. Because I would rather isolate Bob Costello's machine because we have a high confidence in something and get there quicker than sometimes wait hours for a human to review that alert. So that's another area where I'm becoming, and my team is excited about, and I think makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so really using these tools to be more proactive to have that clear communication.
Absolutely.
This was something that we didn't really get to yet, but what about cyber offense? That's something that we've also been hearing a lot within the realm of AI.
Sure.
How can Agentic AI help with some of the offensive side in contrast to the defensive side?
I think, I don't work on the offensive side of the U.S. government's mission. I think where I'm starting to see some really great muscle movements in industry is, like, we are working with a company right now where we're doing some AI-based pen testing. That's where we're doing constant penetration testings of our systems to adjust their risk posture. And what I'm excited about there is human pen testers are few and far between. They're very high demand. So if I can augment my human pen testers, I'm super excited there, and machines can make decisions very fast, constantly attack our systems to test them so that I understand our risk posture. I do think that we've seen some recent reporting, end of December, give or take, or maybe the middle of December, on an adversary utilizing an AI to attack a system. I think we'll see more of that. And I think, where I'm, comfortable in saying is I think we have the best workforce in the United States on the offensive and defensive mission, and I think that we'll stay ahead.
And I'm very excited to see what continues to happen and keep up with you at CISA. Bob, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. It was a great day.